I'll tell you what, I am some kind of terrible at this YouTube video production thing. Um, if I'm not in my little spot with my phone set up and I'm sitting in my chair and I'm just sitting there talking, I fall to pieces. But I want to do something a little different. I've never shown how I pack a pipe. And I know there's tons of guys out there with way better video production quality. That's never really what I set out for in this channel. Maybe one day it'll get there. I'm more of like the nuts and bolts type of guy. So I'm gonna try to make this as short a video as possible. Some videos are like 10, 15 minutes long and this whole thing. I'm gonna try to simplify it. I've mentioned it before. I started out using the 1-2-3. That's how I know it, the 1-2-3 method. Sucked. I never worked well for me. Found the Frank method. Those videos are like 16, 17 years old. Started doing that, and then over the years I have sort of distilled it down into a simpler version that I do daily. This is what I do pretty much every day. It does take a little bit of practice. A lot of it depends on the cut of tobacco. Today I've got a cut of tobacco that's really easy to do this method with. There's other cuts that are a little bit more difficult. You can do it with flake. You rub it out completely, whatever. The basis of it is that you just have to learn how dry your tobacco needs to be based on the cut, based on the components. If it's Virginia Perique Oriental, something like that, it can be a little bit wetter. For me, if it's got Latakia in it, I like it to be quite a bit drier because I like how the Latakia tastes better when it's a little bit drier versus when it's wet. But anyway, I'll set you down on my reloading bench here, and we'll do a little try to work this out, right? So I got some sitting out on my reloading bench. Basically, what I do is just sort of not fill it up, just put some in there, you know, little stems and things like that. Some of these bigger pieces that's like got like a hard like stem on it, get rid of that, get that out of there. And then you just kind of get it to where it's sort of loosely filled to the top. You know, this part, it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't have to be, I've distilled it down. It doesn't have to be as, you know, labor intensive as the Frank method is, you know. I like to let my tobacco, even if it's a good moisture, I like to let it sit out for just a couple minutes. I think getting the air to it, fluffing it up, playing with it, it's good for it, right? So I make sure it's in the right, this is like probably a little bit drier. It's been sitting out a little bit longer than I would have liked, just trying to figure out how to get this thing going, but it's gonna be just fine. So once you get that, then it's basically just by feel. This is just gonna take a lot of practice. You just got to figure it out. But here's the good thing, right? Like if I get like way more than I think that I actually need, right? Like this is way more than I think that I actually need. And I stick it on there. I can feel right now this is just way too much. And I can just let some fall off. Just let some fall off, pull some of these pieces out. You know what I mean? Like a lot of it's about feel. You can feel like how high that tobacco is and just the amount of pressure I'm putting on and how little give there is. You can tell. You're like, okay, that's just way too much. Just pull some pieces out. It's not a big deal. You know, you don't have to overthink this stuff. Pull a little bit out, get it to where now when I push on it, it like wants to go, right? It wants to go in the bowl. And the Frank method is you do this and you spin the pipe around and I just work in from the main goal is to work from the outside in, right? You don't have to sit here and spin the bowl around, you know, 14,000 times and, you know, do all this da-da-da-da-da. Boom. I mean, that's packed. That's packed. That's literally all you need to do. Don't overthink it. Get some tobacco in there. This is the shallow pockets modified Frank method. Boom, done. I mean, it's like that, and you know, you don't have to sit here and go ding with your nail and I mean, it's there. It's in there. That's packed. It's there. So that's how I do it. Hopefully this helps you out. Mainly for the new pipe smokers, because I know new pipe smokers sometimes they'll get real wrapped around the axle about how everything has to be perfect. No, just practice, practice, practice. Be patient with it. You'll get it. Learn your tobaccos, learn your blends, learn your components, learn your cuts, and learn how they like to be filled in your pipes. Just pay attention. Pay attention to things. Don't let, you know, because, well, this guy said that I got to do it this way. Well, Shallow Pocket said if I didn't do that, no. The main key, my goal with this was to show a basic overview of how I do it. But the main goal is to get you to pay attention to what you're doing. Learn your tobacco, learn your pipes, figure out how specific blends, specific cuts, specific varietals of tobacco want to be filled into a pipe, and listen to the tobacco. Believe the tobacco, right? The tobacco will tell you what it likes and what it doesn't like. You just got to listen. All right? Hopefully this helps you out. Let me know if it does. If you don't pack your pipe this way and you try it and you like it, let me know. If you hate it, let me know. Be real curious to hear. And then I'll probably go ahead and shut this one down, and then I'll probably film another one of how I light my pipe. And I'll post them, you know, a certain distance apart or whatever. So, till next time, adios.